Welcome to remain calm, keep stitching. No, Ruby, nobody's really here. They're on the other side of the camera. It's okay. I promised you a finish, and I have finished it. This is one of my son's Christmas presents. All done. I don't think people on YouTube who do a lot of finishings are going to be nervous about me because I'm not the best at it for sure. But I think this one came out pretty decent. That's the fabric I put on the back, and it just kind of mimics the one on the front. And this is Polar Night Siding. It came from the Just Cross Stitch Christmas edition. And I'm pleased with the way it came out. And I don't know if you can see the beads on it. I don't know if they're going to sparkle on there for you or not. But in person, it looks nice. And next to a little light, it looks really good. And then they pick up that sparkle. So I am happy with that. And I don't know where the other one went. I know it's here. It has to be, because I haven't taken it off. It has to be. You didn't take it, did you? No. Okay. Also, this being the 25th, I had said that I was going to do a new start from the Craftways book, Cross Stitch Christmas, on the 25th of every month. Now, this month I didn't want to do something too big because I do have the other one, the Merry Little Christmas. So I am doing this yellow ornament because I want to do something small, and I thought I'll do something that will go onto the tree because the tree is pretty sad when it comes to Christmas ornaments. There's just not a lot there. So I actually started this, and there's a lot of color changes for a little bitty thing, I'll tell you. But I don't think it'll take too long to do that. And then, of course, Merry Little Christmas. I showed you that last week. This is on the 14 count Hunter Green. And last week I had the red done. And I did have one of the blues done, but I had to fix it because being pattern dyslexic, I do things backwards sometimes. And one of them was backwards. But I have added this blue. I don't know how well you can see it. It shows up in person, and the yellow. And I really want to get some more of that done. I'm looking forward to having that finished. So that's that. Now, I'm just going to have a fit if I don't have that other. Here it is. I knew I had it. North Pole Cookie Cafe. That's finished. And I mounted it on artist canvas. I didn't think it was going to fit. I didn't think I had anything to work with. And I thought, well, let me look. Thank you, dear. Thank you. They're going on by. It's okay. I'm sorry. No place to put her. If I try to put her in a room, she's going to have a fit. Come on, hon, sit down. It's okay. So anyway, I think it needs more though. And I'll tell you, I did fasten it on the back, and I used the Aliens glue. And it's holding it just fine. My issue with that is it's a white glue. It's just like Elmer's glue. And when you put it on here on the board and you press the fabric down, the glue comes up through the little holes and gets all over your fingers. And then you touch something and it sticks to your fingers. And, you know, especially around cross stitch, I have a lot of threads. I intend to throw them out, but they end up all over and they end up on my fingers. And then I've got glue dried on my fingers. And then I touch something else and my finger sticks to that. And I find it very frustrating. I understand the argument against hot glue because it does get lumpy. And on a piece like the other one where you're trying to squeeze two back and front together, you don't want lumps. But I don't know. I tried putting a cord around here because I thought maybe that would just finish it off. And I think it would look nice. But you put the glue down and then you have to hold the cord and get the glue on your fingers. And then you try to move the cord and it sticks to your fingers. And I'm sure that there's a lot of hot glue in my future. I've always been a fan of hot glue. So we'll see how that goes. I think the white glue has its place, but I don't know. Um, Threads. Okay, this is from the Halloween issue of Just Cross Stitch. I haven't done a lot of it. This is on 18 count Ada Spray. That's the name of it. Those are all not only different shades of purple, but you do like a dark purple and a medium purple, and then you have to mix the dark and the medium, and then that's what you use for your stitch. So there's a lot of purple, and that's why there's not a lot done, because as much as I love purple, I am not monogamous, and this is almost monogamous. Close enough to monogamous to be monotonous. Yes, it is. But I will finish Old Scully because I like Old Scully. And that's the 2024 Halloween issue of Just Cross Stitch. Now, I would really like my Halloween pieces to be finished for Halloween this year. Because I started a few this year and it was too much to finish. So this is hands-on design. It's called More Beach. And this I started this summer. You can't really see that too well, that printing, I don't think. But it is visible in person. And this I will probably frame. Again, I've said I like the seagulls. They have good memories for me. And this, I don't know if this is 14 count or not. Might be 16 count. I've been a big fan of 16 count because the 14 count you don't get coverage unless you use 3 strands, but I didn't know about 3 strands until recently. So that could be 16 count. And I don't remember the name. Even as like 3, 4 months ago, I had absolutely no intention of being on YouTube. So there was no reason to write down what fabric it was or when I started it or plans for it or anything like that. So I will try to be better in the future. It's basically something to learn. So this is 100 Owls from Owl Forest Embroidery. This isn't a full coverage, but I still find it intimidating. And I am doing it on mossy green. What did I say? Mossy green, 20 count Ada. Hopefully that didn't show. I didn't know that was going to do that. Now I know why. Okay. Now this one, I think I've said I don't kit, but this one is kitted. And these are the colors. And the reason they're kitted is because these are all Weeks Dye Works. Colors like Foliage and Tiger's Eye and Flatfish, Skinny Dip. All these different colors. I think they're so pretty. And they're lightly variegated. Now maybe you can see it here. Let's see. Can use that. I don't have anything. Everybody's got printing all over the place. You can see that it's variegated. I just felt that doing all those owls, 100 owls, that it might be nice to not have them be a flat color. So I started with this middle owl. And this is how far I've gotten. I did have a mistake on the leaves, which I had a frog, and I fixed that. It's one of those things I'm afraid of making a mistake. I want it to look beautiful. And so I hesitate. Maybe that's part of my plans to get past that hesitation and really do it up and to prove I can do it or I can't do it. And I think I can. If I didn't think I can, why would I be here? Why would I be doing it? This one, I love this one, this pattern. It's Full Moon Farm by Imaginating. Not a lot by Imaginating. They have different designers, but overall as a company, I seem to be drawn to their patterns without even realizing it. You know, sometimes like Facebook groups might ask you before you join who your favorite designer is. I don't have one favorite designer. When I go through 123 Stitch or anybody, I look for what I like, and hopefully I'll find it, and it just happens to be a certain designer. It's not, well, it's not important to me who the designer is. What's important to me is whether or not I like the design. So this is how far I am with this, and this is pretty far. It's almost done. And I did make a lot of mistakes. I made a mistake somewhere in here. I don't know where, but it threw off everything a little bit. So this is actually wrong too. It's not exactly spaced right. But I just fudged around it, and if you weren't looking at the pattern and trying to find the mistake, I don't think you would know it. And if you would, that'd be great because I can't find the mistake. So you could tell me what I did wrong. And no, I wouldn't fix it. Not this far along. That would be that. But I like owls, and I don't know, there's something about that. I gotta finish those pumpkins in there. And this is another owl. Let me show you. I don't have a picture to in the pattern here right now. Can you see that? Oh, the owl he's sitting in the pumpkin patch. This is called Owl Watch, and it comes from the Keepsake Calendar 2025. He's from November. He's our November pit-up bird. I've only done this much, but this is a lot of color changes too. So I'm working on it, and I'm looking forward to getting it done. I did cut off a little bit over here. I may cut off a little bit over here to even it out, but I left enough room that if I change my mind, I can always go back and add those couple columns. It's only a few rows going up and down. I just didn't feel like I needed to have them there. And I started this, I think it was October. Might have been September. Might have been September. But that's going to be another owl. Hey, owls ever get mad at people like the birds did in Alfred Hitchcock's movie? I don't think I have to worry about the owls. I like the owls. Now this, why did I choose to do black on purple? Why didn't I get the lighter green like they showed the pattern? I don't know. Yes, I like purple. Yes, purple is spooky. But the green is spooky. It's kind of that limey, foggy color. That's how much I've done of that. That is collectors. And what I like about this is that it's basically from a true story. It's kind of an urban legend at this point. But what it is, I'm going to tell you their names too. Sarah Godfrey, Susan Owens, and Tiffany Windsor were accused by Tituba, who was a self-proclaimed witch, that she saw their signatures in blood in the devil's book. And so, of course, rather than be sensible about it, the authorities arrested the women and burned them at the stake in Salem in 1692. And supposedly, and this is where the urban legend comes in, the hatred towards these women and the anger of the townspeople created such an evil atmosphere, and coupling it with the pain and fear that the women had, it just became so intense that the women's souls split. I'm assuming some went to heaven, but some was claimed by the devil, and he took them off into the forest, and they now roam that forest, And anyone who goes there after dark to collect their soul. They are the collectors, which I think is a pretty mean thing to think about three innocent women. I don't know why that woman accused them of being witches. I mean, certainly she didn't. I guess she did it to be mean. She couldn't have thought it was going to get her out of trouble. I don't know. It's rotten. Why people are like that. Now, this, on a happier note, this is the Abbey. I love this. I saw this and it was one of those things where I see it, I had to have it. And this is by Nancy Scruance Designs, and she has 4 collections. The Abbey comes from the Victorian vignettes, and as it was printed, the Abbey is the only one in the vignettes. But there's California North Coast, there's Victorian America, and there's Victorian miniatures. And this particular house is in Cape May, and it was built by a Philadelphia businessman who wanted to be able to go to the shore when it was hot in the city and relax. And if you're interested, it's on the National Register of Historic Houses, and it's a bed and breakfast in Cape May, New Jersey. So if you're thinking of a vacation and you want to go to New Jersey, I can't tell you anything about Cape May. I was born and raised there, and I never went to Cape May. So I did go to the shore, but I didn't go down to Cape May. I always wanted to. Never got there. It's one of those things. This is how far I got. Not too far. This is on 18 count, and I think it's natural, Ada. Everything I'm doing right now is Ada. I haven't stitched on any other fabrics. So this is how far I have gotten. And let's see this. This is 2 strands. So I'm just doing 2 strands on that. I'm working on that. Yeah, it's 18 count natural. Okay, you go over here. I can't believe I had to put all this stuff away later, too. Now, come here, you. This is Santa Claus in the Snow. I know some people have wanted to see full coverage. I've seen it on other posts. This is a full coverage, and it's something I am going to be working on throughout the year. For my planned video, I think I'm going to try to work out some kind of rotation and try to stick to it. I'm not good at sticking to things like that. But this is by Anke Coleman Designs, and I'm doing it on 14 count, which will be, it'll finish at 17.9 by 17.9. This is how far I am. Oh, I'm back here. Yes, I know I should have taken the hoop off, but it's been a while since I stitched on it, so it's probably even permanent. Maybe not. It's not that stiff a fabric. And it has the grids. A lot of people like the grids because it helps them count. I don't find it to be that much of a help. But could be I'm not used to it too. I mean, obviously I haven't done a lot of that. I have another full coverage, which I don't have with me. Oh, I know why, because I haven't started it. I did start it, but I stopped because it was on the wrong fabric. And now we have the Erie Express. This is Glendon Place, and I am pretty much using the called for. I have to get a few more colors, but I pretty much have most of them. I know I told you I don't kit. I don't kit, but I know what I have because I have it marked off. Check marks. You might not be able to see, but they're there. And this is on, what is this? This is, I know it's Monster Mash, 16 count Monster Mash, which I think is perfect for, where is it? Hello. Okay. That's what I'm doing. That's what, enough, enough, enough. All right, got it. This This is what I am doing now. What happened with this was, she's imaginary people. I'm sorry. I'd put her somewhere if I could, but can't do that to her. This is when I first started it, and I just felt it didn't show up. I don't even know what you can say. It wasn't good enough. So I stopped. I just haven't frogged it yet. I'll see what I have to do with that. But that's where that is. I still have to get a few colors for this so that I really want it to stand out because they've got the nice oranges. I have oranges, but I just think using their colors is probably going to work out better. So yeah, I don't know if I mentioned my dad worked on the Erie Railroad, and that's why when I heard Erie Express, and of course it's a play on the words, and I thought that was cute. If he was alive, I would give it to him as a gift. Speaking of play on words, somebody made the comment that the name of my channel is too long, way too long. And I know it's longer than some and shorter than others, but it's a play on words, a play on my name. My last name is Romaine. So instead of saying remain calm, I said Romaine calm. And that is why this is the title of my channel, Romaine calm. So we're going to stick with that. And this is Gingham Greetings by the Housewives. You all know who the Housewives are, Stitching with the Housewives. And this is how far I've gotten. That one I kind of phased out because I know she always works on chalkboard and I had black. And black's so hard to stitch on. And I know, put a light underneath, put a white paper underneath. But see, the thing is, a certain doggie, if I'm sitting down, she's got to be on my lap. And I'm not going to push her off. And I can't put a paper over her. You should see how, if a thread touches her ears, I get a look. It's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you. Did it hurt? Honest. So anyway, there's not much more to do with this. There's some snowflakes and got to fill in the tree. So this should be done by next year for sure. There shouldn't be any problem getting that finished. Now this one, this is Merry Christmas Sampler. Right? And I know I stopped because I honestly wasn't sure if I wanted to do the whole thing. I keep saying I'm not a fan of samplers. And see, things stick. So anyhow, I might do it. I just might decide to do it. But I also used metallic for the snowman, which I like. And then I was thinking maybe I should have used fuzzy for the snowman and metallic for the snow. I just started second guessing myself. And I've had this long enough that it was long enough ago that I was new enough to think if you made a mistake, you were done. You know, I have since learned to frog, and starting over is not a bad thing, which is good because this one, I think it's beautiful. It has this gorgeous lighthouse. You feel like you're sitting on the porch and you're looking out at the ocean, and the boats are out there, and it's gorgeous. You could feel the breeze. And if you're new to cross stitching, pay attention to your whites. There's 3 whites out there. If you want white, white, like snow or stars, you want B5200. The other 2, Blanc, and then there's one, I can't remember, it's 3864 or 3865. They're off-white. And you won't know it looking at them, but if you accidentally mix it up, it's like you've got white and yellow on there. The 3800 is for a rustic one. The Blanc is considered a neutral white, so it wouldn't be as bright for a snowflake or something. I don't really know what you'd use it for because I don't like it. If it says white, I'm using B5200. So I started this and I didn't like the white. It was the wrong white. It looked positively yellow. I took it out and I did it again and somehow mixed up some threads. And all of a sudden I'm looking at it, why do I have white and yellow? So I had to take that out. And then finally I figured things out and it's all B5200. And you can see that there's a lot of scroll work in there. The other thing, I didn't realize this was full coverage. I thought at first when I bought the pattern and I bought the fabric that it was going to show through, that the scroll work, the porch, which you can't see it, there's a porch post here. I thought they were going to show through, but they're stitched. It's white on white. That's insanity. That's why this is taking me so long, because it's a lot of concentration to do the white on the white. It's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be great. I just have to finish it. Of course, it's done here. This is how long it is, so it won't be any longer than that. And I just have to go across. And I can't wait to get to the lighthouse with that nice bright red. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, this is, uh, well, I know I, I think it's 18 count. It could be 16, but I think it's 18 count. So I've been working on that for a long while too. And I'd like to get that done, to get them all done. Let's be honest. This one I just started, the Wizard's Gate, and I only recently started it and I just wanted to get the cat done down here. I wanted to see what that was going to look like. So this is on 16 count touch of gray, and this is how much of it I have. So I will have to work on that to get that done for next Halloween. That's not even necessarily Halloween. I mean, yes, it's got gargoyles and black cats, but gargoyles are protectors and black cats are around all the time. We've got two outside in the feral colony. So I do plan to work on that and hopefully get it finished up. And then this one you've seen recently. This is the mule, woodland mule. And I haven't done any more since I showed it to you. I'm still working on it. And I am using 3 strands on this. It's 14 count vintage mocha. And I do intend to do more of that because I enjoyed that. And that is the Needle's Notion. Yeah. And oh, we're coming to the end. Yeah. We sure are. I guess I saved my big one for last. This one I've been at for a while. It's on 18 count, white Ada. I couldn't find, I would have done it on a pale green, but I couldn't find the pale green that I liked. And I thought this was going to be super easy, no big deal, wide open, lots of blank space, no problem. Monopoly. Try to make Monday Monopoly Monday, but it just doesn't, nothing works. I need to be held captive and told, sit here for a week and do this. I am enjoying it. I do like it. I don't think you can get it from the same person that I got it. I got it from Stitchpad on Etsy. And I tried to find it and I couldn't. And if you look close, every one of those colored rectangles above a city street is 340 stitches. So you think, well, no, it's wide open, no big deal. Yeah, no big deal. And I'll tell you something else, don't count wrong. You need a certain number of places in here, and if you're off by one, it's like the difference between a creek behind the house and the Mississippi River. You can see the difference in that space. You cannot fake it. So then you have to prod it, and then the black stains the fabric. I have one spot that's damaged because I was trying to get the black out of it, but it's mine. They'll eventually go to my son if he wants it. I may even just give it to him. Yeah. But I think once I put interfacing on the back of it, it'll be okay. So what you might notice too, the street names, Stephen was kind enough to customize it for me. And we have APS Electric for here at Greenway Road. We have, what do we have? Baseline, McDowell. I haven't done the jail yet. I started doing the prisoner in the jail. I'm just hoping it's going to come out okay because it looks a little jumbled. I don't know. In a picture it looks okay, but I'm afraid in cross stitch it's going to look jumbled. And I was thinking of not doing it, just putting the bars. That's why I stopped. I don't know. I'll see. But it was really nice. It's nicely done. And I plan, if I'm not burned out when I get done, to do another one. And I want to do Pittsburgh. But instead of streets, I want to do bridges, like a hot metal bridge. And I can't remember his name. Baseball player. I'll remember it later. Oh, God, it's right on the tip of my tongue too. I could hear it rattling around and it just won't come forward. But they have some awesome names for their bridges. Should have written that down. He was, I'm pretty sure that he was the baseball player that died in the plane crash when he was taking relief supplies somewhere in the Bahamas, maybe Haiti. It's gonna haunt me now, that name. So that's the whips. Not a whole lot, but I think there's a lot of work in there to be. Next week I want to do plans for 2025, and basically what I'm thinking is I'll try to set up this rotation, and I'll just say, this week I'm working on these 2 or 3 projects and really going to show some progress and get that done. I want to work on the full coverages. I also have some things planned that are not like any of these. There's the patriotic piece for the 250th anniversary of the Constitution. Um, there's Believe in the Magic of Christmas. That fabric should be in the mailbox Friday. Stony Creek sent me an email and they have sent me a replacement so that I can put that little button on the Pouty Owl and get him done. So I might be able to show you that as a finish next week. The week after that, I don't know exactly. It'll be progress, and I'll show you the new starts and everything, what I've done. Because actually next week is January. Gosh, 2025. Who would have thought it? And I know probably in a month, I want to take a trip down to the attic. I know a lot of you you heard about the attic from other Floss tubers, and a lot of them travel from all over the country. And I'm only about 40 minutes away, and I've never been there. So I have to go down. I have to see what they have. And I've kind of stayed away because they do the antique samplers, and I'm not into antique samplers. And I'm not into linen. I'm not into 40 count. It just doesn't interest me to do letters. And saying that, I'm doing the preamble to the Constitution. And I ordered 25 count Lugana, which arrived, and it's beautiful. When I first tried Lugana, it was in a dark blue mottled fabric, and I just couldn't. I could not figure out what I was supposed to do. That was a while back, and I understand better now. Caterpillar Cross Stitch has great videos about that, And this fabric, it looks easy, so I'm going to give it my best shot because I think that pattern deserves Lagana more so than it deserves Ada. And I don't have anything against Ada. I like Ada, but Lagana's a lot softer too. And sometimes you get Ada and it's so stiff. So I'm thinking maybe I might become a Lagana person, in addition to a few Ada pieces. I mean, some of my pieces will be Ada for sure. Uh, I'd also like to dye some fabric, just for fun. See what that would be like, see how that'll turn out. And next week we'll see how my idea for finishing this turns out. And I want to see how, I have an idea for finishing this. I don't know if it'll work or not. Keep showing you the back like I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm thinking, what if I put interfacing on this? Kind of interfacing that's fusible and will fuse two fabrics together. If I put the back and the front together and then just do like the applique stitch all around the edges. I don't know if it'll work or not. I don't know if it'll hold together. I don't know if that's a good way to do it, but it's such a small piece. It's a good piece to experiment on. So I'm going to work on that this week and hopefully finish it. And I will show you progress on Merry Christmas. And I will show you what comes in the mail. I won't have lots of haul all the time. I have to warn you about that. If you're into it for haul, I can't. I don't get a paycheck every week to run that I can run to the store and go buy whatever I want. I put a lot on the wish list, but I don't actually buy it every week. So, okay, I guess that's about it. And hopefully I will see you next week. Since these are my whips, what are the whips you're working on? Do you have any particular whip that you're looking forward to finishing, you're planning for next year? Let me know in the comments. Talk to me. Please, nobody talks to me about cross stitch. They talk to me about other things, but I want to talk about cross stitch. So please feel free to make a comment, and I will see you next week. Stay safe, stay warm, stay healthy. Bye.